Welcome back to the channel, peeps. Today we are looking at a Titan build that is built for everything, with the exception of GMs. If you are here for that, please skip this video, but if you're into the fun side of Destiny 2, you will appreciate this one. It is an Ignition Sunbreaker build capable of massive DPS thanks to the new Pyrogale Exotic Gauntlets, focused on the concecration aspect, paired with one of the strongest PvE hand cannons I've ever got my hands on for scorching and ignitions, plus solar orbs from the seasonal aspect that combine to enable insane ad clear abilities, champion countering, and much more. This build has allowed me to solo free phase the Grass Dungeon Ogre, a bunch of solo Master Lost sectors, ideal for Crota 2. If you do find this video informative, consider dropping a like and subscribe if you're new. Let's begin, starting with the Pyrogale Exotic Gauntlets. The core function of these exotic gauntlets is to turn your Burning Maul super into a single-use hit, similar to Celestial Nighthawk for hunters, and also allows concentration melee hits to spawn a solar cyclone that scorches targets trapped inside. The super ability also spawns 3 cyclones on hit, allowing for massive damage on bosses and champions, whilst also capable of igniting the target. Defeating scorched targets, whether that's from the incandescent perk, solar seasonal orbs, or concentration, will return melee energy thanks to Ember of Searing, allowing for constant melee ability generation, meaning more consecrations. We just mentioned incandescent, and boy, if you have a Zaouli's Bane from the Oryx raid, that has it rolled, or if you have the crafted version, it just pairs so nicely with this setup. If a consecration hit misses, or the cyclone scorches targets, finishing them off with Zaouli will return melee energy, on top of spreading more scorch to targets, allowing for ignitions. Even more potent when paired with the Ember of Ashes fragment, which enhances the scorch effects you inflict. Capable of rolling explosive payload and incandescent, it can do more damage at range and increase flinch on targets. The weapon also receives a 25% damage buff in endgame thanks to Overload hand cannon, also capable of stunning Overload champions. This weapon, thanks to the recent hand cannon buffs, feels so good in PvE right now. Try it out. To round off the other weapons and champion counters, Ember Torches grants Radiant on concentration hits, and due to the close quarters nature of this build, look no further than the God Roll until its return shotty from last season. If you don't know what this shotgun is capable of, check out the review I did on it last season. Whilst Radiant, this shotgun can pierce barrier shields and inflict massive damage when using the Overflow Cascade roll, deleting barriers instantly. Finally, a weapon that I'm quite surprised has not seen much use this season, 1K Voices. Thanks to Unstoppable Fusion, the weapon can stun Unstoppables during the initial burst, allowing for the explosions and ignitions it causes when using Ashes to inflict maximum damage, capable of 2-shotting Unstoppables in Master content when Radiant. Not to mention, of course, that all the ignition capabilities of this build can stun Unstoppables too. Now, you may have concerns about ammo when using 1K, as it only has an inventory of 7, but with the seasonal perks it allows for constant heavy ammo. I had a moan recently about elemental orbs, but solar orbs are worth the trouble thanks to the scorch capabilities they have. Getting kills with them can spawn heavy thanks to elemental munitions, and if the lingering scorch kills targets, the effect can also spawn the heavy, allowing you to throw them into groups of adds, letting them burn out and return later for some ammo. Not to mention, throwing an orb into a group and killing one with Zaouli's causes an ignition on the rest of them thanks to incandescent. To complete the important artifact mods, Elemental Fury allows for concentration or Burning Maul hits to do increased damage on champions. Now for aspects, you may be thinking that pairing Roaring Flames is the best bet. Let me tell you something, you won't get far in endgame as it removes the survivability aspect, Sol Invictus. Getting Scorch kills spawn sunspots that grant restoration, keeping you alive especially at close quarters when using concentration, and using this with the Empyrean Fragment extends the duration of restoration and radiant when getting more solar kills, whether that is from weapons or abilities. There are no grenades for this build, just healing grenades to get you out of trouble when in a tight spot comes in clutch. Are you still with me or unsure how some of this build works? Do not worry, I will link a dim link in the description so that you can try this out for yourself. It's super fun for most content, especially if you are a solo player. For overall stats and mods, a high focus on resilience, strength and intellect in that particular order, and slotting solar siphon and heavy-handed mods will spawn orbs of power on solar weapon and concentration kills, whilst hands-on grants increased super gains on concentration kills, which can be significant when getting chain kills, which also allows for high super uptime for DPS. The orbs this build generates feeds into melee kickstart, giving concentration a boost when fully expended, refunding melee energy, whilst invigoration and recuperation mods grant melee and health on orb pickup. Finally, Solar Scavenger, it makes a huge difference to 1K ammo pickups, granted 2 to 3 rounds per brick as opposed to 1. Slap this all together and you have a very strong Solar Titan build that can do a bit of everything: stun champions, aggressive playstyle, constant health regeneration and radiant, constant ignitions, a very potent ad clearer, and DPS options. I don't like playing Titan, but even I have to admit, I had a ton of fun playing with this over the last few days. Check it out for yourself, but in the meantime, that is it for this video. Drop a like if you made it to the end, and sub if you are new to the channel. We have loads more to come, including the Eremite Fusion Rifle review, and another Solar Titan build that I have in mind. Watch this space. This was Plasma Alchemist. Your viewership is much appreciated. Until next time, see you later.
Fight forever, Guardian!